Let's talk about, well, something that's actually being taught in schools by these schools, but has raised at Prime Minister's questions yesterday by Tory MP Miriam Cates, who, along with many others, is very concerned about a particular aspect of our children's education, and that's their sex education. Let's talk to Stephen James. He's a teacher. He's also chair of Conservative Friends of Education and joins us now. Good morning to you, Stephen.
Hello, good morning.
I've saved this topic until late enough that the kids are already at school. They won't hear this when they're in the car. But the government has, according to the Prime Minister's promise, the government will launch a review into how sex education is taught in schools, following concerns that children are being exposed to inappropriate content. Now, this is very different from a staunch Christian or Muslim or Jewish or any other religious group saying, oh, we're concerned that children are hearing about sex at all. But we are talking about incredibly highly sexualised, questionable teaching of sex education. Can you, as much as you can within Ofcom rules, give us a clue so people know, first of all, what we're talking about here, of what our kids are being taught and at what age?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is so concerning, and I really do congratulate Miriam Cates on bringing this to the Prime Minister's attention. We're talking about things about masturbation in year 6, so that's 11-year-olds. We're talking about anal sex. We're talking about lots of kind of contested areas that we can't even agree as adults. I mean, when the leader of the opposition can't tell us what a woman is, why are we then in schools coming up with these kind of ideas and telling them to children as facts?
Well, indeed. I mean, Miriam Cates said yesterday pupils were being subjected to classes that are, she says, age inappropriate, extreme, sexualising and inaccurate. She said graphic lessons on oral sex, how to choke your partner safely. Don't even know where to start with that one, Stephen, and 72 different genders. This is what passes for relationships and sex education in British schools. I mean, I am not remotely a prude. I've talked openly about, these issues with my daughter. Again, you choose the age-appropriate time. And I think it's very important. We do get sex education for children who are not getting that at home. That's not sex education. That's indoctrination.
Yeah, and you're right. Schools have a right and a duty to keep children safe and also not to indoctrinate them with political ideology. And you hit the nail on the head right there. You, as a parent, made that choice to have those discussions with your children, and that is exactly the right thing to do. In my view, this is a bit of state overreach in terms of this statutory framework there and telling teachers what to teach. But it's vague, and then that gives the people who are more progressive, slightly more left-wing, the opportunity to take things even further.
Yeah. And again, I mean, the gender thing is one thing. Again, they're just damaging our kids beyond belief by telling them, oh, you're probably born in the wrong body. You're not. That is your body. You can't be born in the wrong body. There will be some people who want to then later live their lives in the opposite gender. That's very different from telling them they've been born in the wrong body. But also, I think it's important that we do address issues like, the horrific violence in pornography. Everyone thinks their kid doesn't see it. Your son and your daughter have seen pornography, and the pornography they are seeing is not two people having sex being nice to each other. It is involving slapping and pinching and biting and choking. I don't think our schools, though, should be saying and anal sex as well. I don't think we should be saying, here's the safe way of doing these things. I think our schools should be saying, hey, by the way, this isn't what normal people do and you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, what you're talking about are fetishes, are niche areas, and they don't have a place in school. They certainly don't have a place in primary school, and they don't have a place in secondary school. And I'd much prefer that our children were taught multiplication tables rather than masturbation. Call me a traditionalist, I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, this is the thing. It doesn't seem to be very complicated. I'd love to know a single parent who wants their child to be taught how to safely strangle someone during sex. I mean, this is so disgusting and obscene. It really is. I'm so pleased Miriam Cates raised it. So pleased you're talking about it. Stephen James, Chair of Conservative Friends of Education, thank you very much indeed.